Okay, you've probably heard of the Koreshans settlement off of 41 out there. By the turn of the 20th century, most of the Mound Key homesteaders had moved upriver to Estero, then a citrus and cow farming town. The Koreshans came to Estero from Chicago, and they promised to build a new Jerusalem of 10 million people in what is today South Lee County. They believed that the entire universe existed within a giant hollow sphere, the Earth. They were very successful and operated a sawmill and a post office on the south end of Estero Island here. They also built and operated a printing facility, a bakery, and a general store. As a communal group that believed in celibacy, the ranks quickly shrank, and by the early 1960s, the Koreshans Society was nearly bankrupt and deserted. But let's hear more about this communal utopia.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Koresh Unity. Let me introduce ourselves. We are the Sisters of the Planetarium. There are 7 of us, and we are somewhat the ruling body of the Koreshan Unity. And with us today is our master, Cyrus Teed. He's our founder of our Unity group. He was the founder visionary of the society. He was a doctor during the Civil War. And one night he was visited by an angel. And he soon professed after that he was the 7th Messiah. Now Jesus was the 6th, but he declared he was the 7th. Koresh group was settled as a religious and scientific belief group. Teed took the name of Koresh, which is the interpretation from the Persian of Cyrus. And so Koresh was the name, and so that from that day forward, that's who he was known as.
We call him Master Koresh. The Koreshan Unity started in New York in the 1870s, where Master Koresh started preaching his beliefs. He is a wonderful speaker. He later moved to Chicago and in 1888 formed a commune called Beth Oprah. 7 years later, in 1894, Master Koresh too took all of his followers to Estero, Florida, to form his new Jerusalem. Our community is thriving now with over 250 residents. Apparently, we have 4,000 believers throughout the country.
Imagine only 1 year ago we were moving from Beth Oprah in Chicago. We have accomplished quite a bit here in the short time. In fact, you are here just in time to take part in our festival to celebrate the opening of our sawmill. We have and also we are putting in a post office on the south end of the island.
And what will the sawmill be able to do? I saw a great deal of equipment being brought in by boat while I was with the other sisters collecting horseshoe crabs.
Well, along with the head saw to cut the wood, we have a planing and shingle making machine installed, as well as a machine shop and a boat ramp, and to make the deliveries of the wood that we are preparing. We can send the lumber up to the boat yards to make boats, or send it to the carpenters to build homes and other buildings, or we sell it to the people around us. By the way, how are the farms doing, coming along?
The farms in Estero are doing well. We grow citrus fruit, figs, guava, tomatoes, and sweet potatoes, and we also harvest honey.
I heard the mangrove, you managed to grow rice and beans. I thought the soil didn't have enough nutrients in it.
Well, we simply planted velvet beans and cowpeas, which are black-eyed peas. And what the cattle didn't eat, we plowed into the ground, and it provides the nutrients that the soil needs. And have you heard how well the bakery is doing?
Our main settlement along the Estero River has a bakery, and it is the first bakery in this area to make risen bread. We believe that we do at least 500 or 600 loaves of bread and sell it mostly to the settlers in the area.
Before we moved here, the settlers had only cornmeal to bake bread with. We have provided the first white bread in Fort Myers. such as Wonder Bread.
We have also begun communicating with Thomas Edison. He has a winter home in Fort Myers and has an extensive experimental station there. And we believe that he's planning a trip to Estero and to look at our nursery. His wife will come and have tea with us, and we will be hoping that he will be able to share some of his knowledge. And in fact, we already have been given some bamboo, I'm sorry.
Bamboo,
Bamboo,
seedlings.
and we've
Seedlings.
planted that along, which you can still see when you visit our community.
Master Koresh will enjoy conversing with Thomas Edison. They both have such interesting and ingenious minds. I hear the Master's house will be built soon and classes will be held there for the children.
Well, yes, it'll be the first building made with our milled pine from our very own mill. It will be a wonder to sleep in something other than a log home with a thatch roof. Don't you think you would agree to that, Ginger?
Amen to that, Mary Ann. Anything would be an improvement over the tents we slept in when we first arrived.
Well, you know, I think we are getting ready for the festival, and we certainly want to enjoy all of you to enjoy the coming of our new sawmill. So by all means, continue on and join us at that.
Thank you.
Have a great day.